No, I think this week at Arizona State, as long as Sparky doesn't jump on one of our players' backs and we can stay away from getting arrested, I think we'll be perfectly fine. We're coming to you pre-tape from the Best Coast Show studios. This is the Best Coast Show. I am your host, Albert Aguilera. That is my producer, Curtis Stage. Curtis, what's on the rundown today?
Today on the rundown, we have college football. We're going to be talking USC. Are they already out of the playoff picture in week 3? We're going to talk about UCLA. Josh Rosen is looking like a true freshman. And then, of course, we have to talk about our college football arrests of the week.
Yeah, we actually have like a bunch of arrests, which can we say that's a good thing, college football players getting arrested?
It's not a good thing.
But it is for us, though, because it gives us content.
We have plenty to talk about.
We do, because like a bunch of people got arrested this week. And in previous weeks, we mentioned Ishmael Adams over at UCLA. One of your boys got arrested for allegedly assaulting his Uber driver while under the influence.
My favorite arrest.
No, but again, remember, he was smart enough that even while he was drunk, he called an Uber driver to come pick him up. Yeah. But then he assaulted him and allegedly assaulted him and then stole his cell phone. But after missing 3 weeks, he got reinstated this week.
Good. We need him back.
Yay. All right, but this week was actually a pretty good week for arrest. This is also your guys' weekly reminder, college athletes. Keep your hands to yourself. It seems like every week there's sexual assault, there's assault and battery, there's you stealing people. Who steals Keystone Light?
You know, Keystone Light is not a good beer.
It's not.
I mean, if you're going to steal something, go, Stone or something.
If you're going to assault someone and steal from them.
Yeah. I mean, Keystone costs like $5 for a 24-pack. I think you can afford that as a college football player. I mean, I could afford it when I was in college.
College football players don't get paid.
Okay, but they can afford a $5 24-pack or how much ever Keystone is.
They probably could because they could put their money together.
Yeah, they can pool it together.
But yeah, you got two
players. They shouldn't be drinking beer anyway.
2 players that got arrested for assaulting another student and stealing their Keystone Light. And Gary Patterson, the head coach over at TCU, he came out and he said, this is unfortunate. I'm the father on this team. These guys are my kids. When they mess up, I mess up. But then he takes a jab and says, at least this isn't as bad as what's happening south of here. Referencing the rape case in Baylor.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's much worse.
Yes, that's much worse. Guys, keep your hands to yourself. Don't assault people and keep your hands off the ladies. Over at Fresno State was a good one. It was a trifecta. We had 2 football players and one of the women's soccer team players who got arrested for being drunk in public, disorderly conduct, and drinking while underage. Guys, drinking age in America is 21 years of age.
Well, I know. But wait a minute. Fresno, you need something to do in Fresno.
They're true. Not,
okay, nothing against Fresno. Technically, they're in Northern California to me, so you got to have something to do.
But which leads us to our next arrest out in Tennessee, Chattanooga. So we got this football player, D. Lyman. His name is Ventrell McMillian. I don't know whatever his name is. He plays for Chattanooga, whatever. Yeah. Anyways, this guy gets arrested for... being under the influence and having a gun on him. Why would you bring a gun to a house party?
Yeah.
Do you need to be strapped in Chattanooga? I've never been to Chattanooga. I don't know the area.
It's Nuga, by the way.
I didn't know that.
You call it Nuga.
I mean, I'm a USC fan. I know where USC is. I know not to be around the campus late at night. For those of you who don't know and are not in the area, USC is not in the nicest neighborhood. A lot of people are like, oh, the university is spoiled children. It's a bunch of rich white kids, blah, blah, blah. But it's not in the nice neighborhood.
Why does a college football player need a gun?
You don't.
At a party.
You don't.
And a house party. You're supposed to be having fun.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You don't need to be strapped. I mean, and these are just some of the arrests we found. There was the receiver at UMass who broke into a car on campus. Yeah. He got arrested for that. Guys, don't steal. Keep your hands to yourself. If it's not yours, don't touch it. That includes people and possessions.
Well, the stealing of the Keystone, breaking into cars. I mean, this goes back to college football players need to get paid, doesn't it? I mean, they're not making
because
any money.
If they were making money, then they wouldn't steal.
Anything.
What about sexual assault? What about the regular assault?
They would be able to pay for hookers,
which is also illegal.
Okay, well, whatever.
Which is also illegal.
Did I say that? I'm sorry, but that's true. I mean, they could just pay for it then, right? I mean,
I guess
then it would be okay. So let's move on. Let's talk about USC. Is USC already out of the playoff picture? I mean, we're in week 3 and they lose. This is a game you don't want to lose already.
This is what I was afraid of. Last week I mentioned that Stanford was going to give us problems because historically Stanford does give us problems.
They did.
We were favored by 9.5, and Cody Kessler did his job. Juju did his job, right? Yeah. So these guys put up their numbers. The offense put up 31 points. The offense did what the offense was supposed to do. Unfortunately, the defense was a liability the same way it was a liability all of last year, and the defense looked soft.
Yeah.
They gave up 3 rushing touchdowns, 2 in the air. They were mush. The linebackers and the D-line looked like they were running on sand.
Yeah,
It was bad.
The line is terrible. You know, Juju Smith, this kid, every week he's looking better and better.
He had 150 yards.
He's amazing, and he may be in the Heisman conversation this year. We were talking about that
and
last time.
As long as they don't, I mean, right now if they play like this, they're going to go 7-5.
Yeah.
But if they stay, 10-2, 11-1, both Kessler and Juju are going to be in the Heisman conversation. And Juju, you saw Juju play when he was in high school.
He played at Pauley in Long Beach, and Juju was the number 2 recruit in high school as a safety. So maybe USC needs him to play safety.
Maybe
instead.
have him go both ways.
Let's play both ways.
That would be a good idea. We should bring it up. Sark, if you're watching this, take that into consideration. I know it might be a little dangerous, but Juju can hit.
Yeah, he's a big kid. So USC this week, this is going to be another. You don't sleep on Arizona State either.
You don't. Arizona State's dangerous. Now, it like you said, and like I was mentioning earlier, you lose a game in college football, you better hope and pray you lose early. You better hope and pray that you have a schedule that can let you get back into the picture, and you better hope and pray that teams ahead of you lose. Now, this goes back to what I was saying about how I want every team we play to win as many games as possible until they play us. In the event that someone beats us, like Stanford, now they're ranked 21, Stanford needs to win as much as possible.
Yeah.
USC has the schedule where they have Notre Dame, they have UCLA, they have Oregon, they have Utah, they have Arizona, and they already played against Stanford. These teams are all ranked 21 or better.
So if they beat all of those teams,
If
then
they
could
run
be
the
in
table,
Yeah.
they could totally do it. I mean, they have that stretch at the end of the year. I mean, Colorado, whatever. But they have that stretch at the end of the year where they have UCLA, they have Oregon, and assuming they win the Pac-12 South, they'll play the winner of the Pac-12 North in the conference championship game. Let's them get back into the playoff picture.
But, their defense, they have to do something about this. I mean, they're not looking very good right now, and Stanford is not an offensive juggernaut, but when they play teams that are better offensively than Stanford, not that Stanford's bad.
No, Stanford doesn't even have a good offense. What it is, you look at Alabama, you look at Stanford, you look at Michigan State.
Dude, Hogan looked like
they're
he looked
physical offenses. When you talk about a team being physical, you're referring to the defense. But when it comes to teams like Stanford, like a Michigan State, like an Alabama, their offensive players are very physical, and the defense for USC is very soft. They were last year, they are this year.
USC's defense made Hogan look like Brett Favre. He was rolling around and stuff. But he's not a rolling around quarterback. I mean, the guy, he's big, and they were making him anyway. Yeah, I mean, UCLA's defense is looking good, but
it didn't help that your leading tackler decided to get hit with targeting in the very first sequence of the game and get pulled.
Yeah,
and now with this injury,
Miles Jack, I mean, his meniscus, he's out for the season. He's
out 6 to 8 months.
He's the best UCLA player.
Yeah,
I mean, offense or defense.
And the worst part is he got hurt in practice, and it's like get hurt like in the game doing something epic where you're tackling someone, you're making that interception, you're diving for that touchdown, you're doing something, but he got hurt.
Hopefully he wasn't playing grab ass or something and got hurt.
Yeah, those are the worst, right? When someone gets hurt doing something stupid, like you've seen those, like someone's like hitting a home run, they round the bases trip, or they land on home plate awkwardly, or the kickers who kick the field goal and then start celebrating and then tear their ACL.
Well, no, the guy from was it from Notre Dame who was high-fiving in the end zone this weekend and he jumped up.
And Notre Dame's getting riddled with injuries, so who knows how long before they go down.
Yeah. So anyway, that's, we'll see how UCLA does defensive-wise without Miles Jack now not being there for the rest of the season. That's going to be tough. Okay, so Rosen is looking like a true freshman, but luckily UCLA's got, a good defense. And
BYU's magic kind of went to a halt with that interception.
And that was a great game.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a really great game. And BYU was, it was close at the end, and they almost...
But Rosen played against a defense that stayed at home, that wasn't blitzing him. It was something he had not seen at the collegiate level, and it immediately bothered him.
He threw a couple picks.
He threw three interceptions, one touchdown. He only threw for 105 yards.
But he didn't need to.
He was being rushed.
Yeah, but he didn't need to throw that many because, of course, we got Paul Perkins again.
Well, exactly. He didn't need to throw. His problem was that he would roll out, he would try to force a play, and he was throwing across his body. And it's like, bro, you shouldn't be doing that. Yeah. But Perkins bailed you out. Perkins ran for over 200 yards again. Like, this guy's pretty good.
Perkins is ranked 7th in the country in rushing right now. He has 7th most yards. Next week's going to be awesome because they're playing Arizona or this week.
Also undefeated. Arizona's also 3-0. They're ranked 16.
And they have Nick Wilson, who's got 5 more yards than than Perkins. So it's going to be an interesting matchup of two running teams.
Right, and you got UCLA's favored -3 in this one. Do they cover? They didn't cover last week when you said they would.
I think this one's gonna. Is this in Arizona?
It's in Arizona.
That's gonna be a tough one. I think UCLA is gonna pull this out.
But I mean, Arizona hasn't played anybody. Arizona's averaging 50 points a game.
That's
I
why.
mean, they put up 77 last week, I think, but that's because they're playing nobody.
Yeah, I think UCLA's defense is gonna stymie Arizona, but Arizona's a good team.
So you see UCLA winning this one?
I do.
All right.
I do. I mean, I've been right so far. I'm going to stay on that. I'm going to stay on it.
But I mean, same thing with UCLA. UCLA's got the same schedule, minus Notre Dame. They have the same schedule that USC does. They keep this up, they're going to be in position to be a top 2, top 3 team in the next couple of weeks.
Do you think they'll go that high? Do you think they'll go up?
Well, right now they're at 9. Right. The teams ahead of them are SEC teams. They are Big Ten teams. Those teams are going to play against each other.
Yeah. So somebody's going to lose.
Yeah. Someone has to lose.
Someone has to lose it. I wonder if there's going to be an undefeated team this year in college football.
That's kind of tough because you've seen every team at some point look.
Yeah. Some team.
I mean, Alabama went down, but now everyone's Alabama lost to Ole Miss, and Ole Miss is suddenly getting first place votes. Get out of here.
Yeah. No.
Get out of here.
Yeah. Ole Miss is good, but they're not that good.
Right.
What's our GIF of the day?
GIF of the day, guys. I don't know if you guys have been watching this new show on Fox called Scream Queens. At first, I was kind of like, about it, but it's actually really funny. And we found this GIF. It's what I'm imagining the USC campus is looking like right now after a loss, which could possibly already end their season in week 3. But that's our GIF of the day. That's our show. Don't forget to stalk us on the Twitter. Hopefully USC can win one out this week and get back in the playoff picture. All right, that's our show. You guys have a good night.